All right, this is Boxing with the Truth, and I'm the Truth, and you're here today on March 21st, 2015, and we're here with pro boxer Karim Hard Hitter Mayfield. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, just cooling.
All right, I appreciate you taking time to do the interview.
Sounds good.
I just want to go over a few little facts. You are age 34 now, right?
Correct.
You actually fight at welterweight, but you do sometimes fight at other weight classes, correct?
Yes, this is true.
Okay, your pro record right now is 19 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw.
Yes,
And you still out of San Francisco, California?
I am.
Okay, and you turned pro in 2006, right?
That's true.
Okay, and you are a former WBO, NABO super lightweight champion, correct?
Yes, sir.
But you were not beaten, you vacated the title.
Correct.
Okay, and I just want to touch briefly on your amateur career so people know. Correct me if I'm wrong now, because I saw 2 different numbers here. Was your amateur record 54 wins and 4 losses?
Yeah.
Okay, and you actually won the Golden Gloves in 2006.
Correct.
And you got a bronze medal in the Western Trials for the 2004 Olympics.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to start off actually to talk about some of your training issues, and I want to know if that's affected you in your career. I know earlier in your career you were with Jackie Callion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of happened with that?
Well, as you can see from my early career, I was fighting. I had 10 fights. I had already fought 5 undefeated people. So, in hindsight, it's good because I know I was able to, face those type of guys and be successful. But, being around tough fights and not receiving a payday, it wasn't so well. It wasn't so much a good look.
Okay, so you moved on, and then eventually you were with your brother, and then you were with Marlon Sullivan, who you had a hand agreement with, more or less, a handshake. You were about to sign an actual contract with him, and then he was arrested for being involved, supposedly in a murder for hire conspiracy, trafficking drugs, selling credit cards, and numerous things. Now, how did you react to that when all that went down?
Well, I was getting to work. I found out the night before my HBO debut. And actually, the second time I found out HBO, excuse me. But, getting ready for a fight, big fight on HBO, and having your manager go down in the same state that you flew in to fight in, as you can imagine, it was really devastating.
So did that actually affect you in that fight?
I can't say, I don't use anything as an excuse, so I like to say, oh yeah, well, it made me, but I could say I wasn't focused. This was a lot of my mind wondering what the hell was going on. Didn't sleep at all, much at all that night, so, you can be the judge of that, but as people seen that fight, it wasn't the same Mayfield. But, to be honest, with that fight, I had trained with a different trainer, and we were kind of just getting to know each other, and there wasn't enough time to have figured that out. It was a totally different trainer that I was training with from the beginning.
Okay, so now how is your manager's situation now? I believe you're still with your brother and another individual, right?
Yeah, well, just still with my brother. I'm a free agent. I'm still managerial.
Okay, so things are good there now?
Yeah, things are, I wouldn't say necessarily good, but they're not bad.
Okay. Now, I just want to talk briefly about, now in 2014, that's when you took your first 2 losses and you took them back to back. So sometimes one person, you take a loss, it's pretty hard, and then, you took 2 of them back to back, your first 2. What did you learn from them losses? I see that you've won since then, so what did you take away from those?
I've seen that, you got people like Teddy Atlas critiquing people's style and saying what they don't like, or, and I think that was really a main reason why I kind of began boxing. People were telling me that my style was conducive to man weights and all this shit. But, I've learned that I gotta do me, and I 18-0, and what had got me to become an ABL champion. And I was just going in like a pit bull, not doing all this pretty dancing and bouncing around. I ain't got time for all that, you know. So with that being said, you know, I've learned that now I gotta move forward on these dudes. I was boxing way too much, and people was not used to seeing that athlete going ahead and Mayfield. I had went back to my the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, the hood, went back to the streets, and they got on my line, man. So what are you doing with all this pretty bouncing? You're moving too much. You know, so I went back to the streets, man, and they gave me back, you know, helped me realize that I was getting focused on see what I was missing in my repertoire.
Okay, speaking of going back to the streets in the beginning, originally you were actually an athlete in a different sport. You were a running back in high school, and you actually walked into a gym one time, and I heard sparred somebody, you know, that was an up-and-comer or whatever, and then you kind of, that's how you got involved in boxing. And then I kind of heard that you used to box a little bit with your cousins and family members, and you guys, if you didn't have gloves, now correct me if I'm wrong, I want to know if this is true, if you guys didn't have gloves, you used to put on like 5 or 6 pairs of socks on your hands and box?
Yeah, exactly, we did. I had one, I was a football player, and, you know, but honestly, I would be in the NFL right now, you know, like a little very fancy or something, but anyhow, should I say Frank Gore, it's a little bit more current, but anyhow, you know, I was just kind of fooling around, so my brains went all up to part, and like long story short, I was hanging from the streets, just kind of chilling, you know, wasting time as a lot of the youngsters do, and my gym had opened, and in my neighborhood, you know, I went to go check it out. As the story goes, there was a guy that had actually been boxing for like a year, and they wanted to teach me how to do the jab, and I'm like, nah, I want to fight. I didn't know anything about the terminology, the words they do this, I was sparring. Anyhow, they threw me in there, and man, I dropped the guy like 2-3 times or whatever, and man, the old school trainer told me, you know, come back. He wasn't going to change nothing about me, you know, and I didn't know what he meant by that, but he was talking about my unorthodox style, and he just wanted to get me in condition, so, I mean, the rest is history. And going back to the other question, yeah, we used to wear socks because there was a lot of us, my grandmother had 28 grandchildren, so we all hooked up. You know, one of my auntie's house, we would all be there, and auntie had like 8 children, my mom had like 4, other auntie had like 5, so we would all be over there pretty deep, the girls, they guys, so we all know how to fight pretty well, wrestle and throw punches, and, you know, yeah, we would throw a lot of socks out and get it on.
That's pretty interesting. I've never heard that before. So I want to bring up a fight that you were involved in earlier in your career, and I'll see what you think of it. When you first fought Steve Forbes, and you found out you were fighting Steve Forbes, he had a little bit of a name out there, you know, 2 pound. Now, when you actually got in the ring with him, was he still the Steve Forbes that everybody knew, or was he kind of becoming the old Steve Forbes, where you could kind of, you know, an old man that shouldn't really be in there anymore?
No, well, you know, to be honest, I had sparred Steve Forbes maybe 2 years prior to that fight, and I was an amateur still, and he was getting ready for a world title, and I was in Jay Prince's camp, and I think we all were out there, and a lot of great fighters were out there getting prepared, and I sparred him, so I knew that my style overall was too much for him, so, well, not saying that I was just beating him up out there, but I seen that I was getting problems, and I know 2 years after that, I know how much better I got, so when they offered me that fight on television, I was excited to take that fight, so I knew my style, you know, people say, well, it's only sparring, you know, it's not only sparring, I mean, people try to knock each other out in sparring, but you can't figure out that styles do make fights, and you can figure out that styles, what style would be more conducive to yours and others.
Okay. Now, he actually did go 10 rounds, though. I mean, you TKO'd him in the 10th round. So, did he give you a little bit of problems or no?
No, not really at all. If you go back to the fight on YouTube, you see he didn't much at all.
Okay, I want to talk about another fight. Now, this guy you fought twice. Now, I just did an interview with him, and he gave you respect all day long. He's Francisco Santana. You fought him twice. You went to a split decision, beat him. Then you TKO'd him in the 5th round. Now he claims the first fight was basically a war. That's how he said it. So what's your take on the first fight?
You said, Francisco Santana. Yeah, that guy is. That was actually the first fight. They offered me the fight at 147 pounds. It was televised. He was, if I'm not mistaken, like 6-7-0, and I was maybe like 4-5-0. And it was a good fight. The first fight, it was a close fight. I won split decision. I actually had the late great Adrien Broner on corner at the time, from Jackie Callan hooking me up. And, she knew him and he happened to be in town, so he was in my corner, so that was a great experience. But anyhow, for Santana, actually, I learned a lot from that fight, that first fight, because he caught me with a great left hook that almost, dropped me and staggered me, but I didn't go down. Anyhow, I learned a lot from that fight. So, Dan Gleason, rest in peace, he had offered me another fight with him maybe about several months later. But they wanted it at 153 pounds, if I'm not mistaken. And people were like, oh, you don't need to give him a rematch. It was a tough fight. Don't give it to him. I mean, but honestly, to be honest, Dan Gleason and them said that they would sign me if I beat him. So, I wanted to promote it. And it was on their card, Andre Ward's card, in Oakland. So I decided to take the fight. Anyhow, I was way more sharper. I was way more. My left hand was up now. My right hand up that level. And I pretty much dominated the fight, but not taking anything away from Santana. It was definitely a good fight fighter, and I expected to win against Ali. But I honestly think I was more focused at the time, and I was more sharper than the original first fight.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to know what the difference was from the first fight to the second. He honestly told me.
I went to camp. I went to Big Bear camp. I went to camp with the Perez. Excuse me, not Perez. I went to camp with the I can't think of his name right now, but I went to camp in Big Bear in Sugar Shane's camp. So that was overall a great experience.
Yeah, he actually said to me that the first fight, he remembers completely. It was a really good fight. The second fight, he said from the first bell, he doesn't understand what happened. He just can't remember much. He remembers you hitting him a lot, and then he remembers them guys waving it off and saying that he lost. He just...
Yeah. I was way more focused in that fight and way stronger.
Okay, now also you've sparred with some guys like Zab Judah, Antonio Margarita, Sergio Mora, Manny Pacquiao. What have you learned from some of them guys to build up your skills a little bit?
Well, from a guy like Margarita, I learned how to use time management with a guy like that. The guy that's pressures and don't fight punches. You can't be trying to punch as much as Henderson, not a high volume puncher. So I figured out time management opposed to, time people use time management and do it by holding. But the ref, he'll call you and get points taken from you. And some may do it by moving too much, but then you get tired and get, hunted down. But I figured it out with, mixing it all together, not holding, but punching, moving, and punching, dodging at the same time. So I learned a whole lot from him. As far as Sergio Mora, I figured out that that was another, that, my strength and he was fighting, if I'm not mistaken, 154 pounds, and I was a 140 fighter. And I seen that I was able to, what we call bully. Me and my coach did, I was able to bully him real easy. He was a slick fighter. So I seen how easy it was. Not easy, I don't want to say easy, but I seen how it wasn't as difficult as when I started to be against a world-class fighter to be able to implement my bullying style. As far as Manny Pacquiao, it was a great experience overall. And just seeing how fast this guy was moving his feet. And again, he couldn't handle the bully style myself with that. It's a footage on YouTube between me sparring him. A lot of people don't know that. Manny wasn't going hard. First of all, someone's trying to take your hair off. You're going to try to take their head off. So, I was trying to take his head off. They offered us another $1,000 if you can drop him. So I was trying to get redeemed that. Anyhow, the one round that is on YouTube, they made Ellie Setback take off the other 4 rounds because that one round that you saw was only a warm-up. So, anyhow, actually want to try to look for those, see if I can find those. Put them up right around there.
Okay. I want to get to what just happened last weekend. A lot of people might not know what exactly happened behind the scenes on the fight with Sean Porter. His opponent fell out due to dehydration or not making weight or whatever it was. There was different rumors out there. But then they brought in a different guy, but then they called you in as well. And a lot of people were confused because they were seeing two reports that he was going to fight, what's his name, Bonnier, or they were going to fight Mayfield. But then all of a sudden it said he was fighting Bonnier, and now Mayfield was out. So explain to me what happened. They brought both of you guys in, weighed both of you, and then chose him over you, right?
Yeah, that's correct. They had flew me and my whole team, 4 of us, down there, and you know, had room for us and everything, and just told me I needed to make 149 pounds. I was right on weight, and actually on the way to the weigh-ins, you know, I was told that they will choose Broner, and I'm like, who is Broner? I didn't even know they had another opponent down here. So anyhow, when we get there, they were just told us that, you know, they chose a different opponent, and well, I was trying to wonder because dude was from out of the country, and I'm like, well, nobody knows him. Because when I originally was offered the fight, they told me, well, it was for a significant amount of money, and it's like, well, they wanted to choose you because, you know, you're TV friendly, and you know, you have a good record, and your name is good. It was funny because I'm like, so why in the hell won't these same people sign me then? You know what I mean? Which is funny. But anyhow, so that's why I really thought when I heard the guy Bonet's name, you know, I didn't know who he was. He was from out of the country. So I thought they would definitely choose me for a late minute sub. But they didn't. They went with the lesser opponent. And, I mean, they got the results that they wanted.
So do you think down the line, though, because your name was brought in to possibly fight Sean Porter, do you think that could possibly be a future fight for you?
I definitely do. I mean, honestly, when I was looking at the social media, I didn't realize, I seen it. I thought a lot of people were going to be hating, like, oh, Karim's going to get dusted or something like that. But actually, like, maybe 90% of the comments was saying that they thought it would be an explosive fight. So, you know, that was good to hear. And even though I know myself it would have been explosive, but just to, you know, finally hear that some of these guys are giving you some props, definitely a good look.
Okay, speaking of explosive, I've done a little bit of research, and I understand there's a boxer out there that you really don't care for, and I really hope you get a fight with him. Adrien Broner, you don't really care for him much, do you?
Yeah, not too much. Not as a person, as a fighter, I respect him. As a you know, as a boxer and as a pugilist. But as far as just, you know, personality-wise, his character, I don't respect his character at all.
So do you hope that you get in the ring with him?
I certainly do. You know, I feel like you know, he's a pretty boy. He called himself like he thinks he's pretty boy Floyd. I don't think he's Money Mayweather. They think he's pretty boy. OG pretty boy. So I like to ruffle his feathers up. You know what I mean? If he's reminds me of a spoiled kid. You know, that hadn't gotten whooping. So I would like to be the one to put that whooping on him. Like Madonna, it's a little worse though.
Okay, so you'd like to put a whooping on Adrien Broner?
Yes, Adrien.
Or Adrien Broner, my fault. I want to bring up 2 other names because, like I said, I know you fluctuate in weight, and these are just 2 guys personally I'd like to see you fight, and I'd like to hear if you know them and if you have anything to say on that. First, super lightweight Amir, Iman.
Amir, Iman. You know, I need to go Google him to check him out.
Okay, he's actually 16-0. He just fought on TV a couple months ago against Fidel Maldonado Jr.
Okay.
And
ESPN or HBO?
Was it not that? I think it might have been on Showtime.
Okay. We'll go Google him.
And then another one. Are you familiar with the new Ray Robinson, welterweight?
Yeah, I am.
And what are your thoughts on ever fighting him?
That was a fight I was trying to take early in my career that, you know, they had mentioned, but I think his handlers didn't want the fight. But nevertheless, yes, that's the fight I entertain. What's his record right about now?
19-2. So basically about the same as yours.
Pretty similar, huh? How many KOs he got about now, huh?
I'm not sure exactly how many KOs he's got. I think maybe like 13 or something.
Statistics. But anyhow, excuse me, stats. But anyhow, yeah, that was definitely a fight I entertained taking.
Okay, and also I saw a clip that you were kind of calling out Danny Garcia a while back. Do you still want that fight?
Yeah, I certainly do. I mean, any of the top guys in the world, I like to take a fight. I mean, I have no necessarily personal vendetta with the guy. I mean, he's been doing his thing, and he's been holding it down. 140. The fans feel that he's cherry picking him, although he has had a few tough fights, and with Lamar Peterson, that shows another tough fight. But nevertheless, I certainly like to take a fight with Danny Garcia.
Okay, and like I said, you have fought Francisco Santana twice, so I want your opinion on this. On April 25th, he's going to be in the co-main event under Klitschko and Jennings, and he's fighting Saddam Ali, who's actually 21-0. What do you think of that fight?
Well, man, Ali is a very slick guy, man, but Santana's very durable. If I'm not mistaken, I'm the only one that stopped him, but Santana's very durable and he has a great left hook, and honestly, I see Santana pulling off that fight. At the end, maybe I see Santana stopping him by 10th round. Is it for a title?
I'm not sure. I haven't read enough on it. I didn't even know about the fight until Santana told me about it, and then I heard that it was the co-main event.
Oh, okay. I don't know how many rounds it is then, but yeah, if we're going 12, I'll see Santana in 11.
Okay. And also, like I said, you've sparred with Manny Pacquiao, so you know him a little bit. I want to talk about the May 2nd fight coming up, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. Break that fight down for me.
I see a draw. I see a draw coming up due to the fact that I don't see no knockout, and it's Floyd is not going to try to knock out Pacquiao, and Pacquiao isn't going to be able to knock out Floyd because of his defense. But not only that, it's too much money to be made for the judges not to lean towards a draw. So I can see them getting some type of extra incentives to make sure that becomes a draw.
Okay, and then possibly a rematch, right?
Exactly. But if that becomes a draw, then that keeps Floyd. Even if Floyd does win, I see them making it a draw because, of course, I don't know if they necessarily want to have him as defeated, because, that's Floyd Mayweather. But a draw wouldn't have him defeated, even though it would be a blemish. But that means he's still undefeated. But a second fight, then I can see Floyd edging it off.
Okay. And do you got any thing coming up soon? Any announcements? Possible fight this summer?
Yeah. Well, hopefully April, May. Yes, hopefully maybe about mid-May. I should be back in there. I promote my last fight in November 8th in my hometown. So we're going to do one more of those events out here, and then be back on mainstream network and by summer.
Okay, you got anything to say to your fans before we end the interview?
Yeah, sure. Keep holding it down. Hey, and I'm a cool dude. People say, oh, he talks too much. That's not true at all. I have a very cool personality. But I do talk when it's time to talk. And this is the entertainment business, so I do have to talk. But and I may be flamboyant at times, but for part of entertainment. I'm not cocky, and I'm just a real down to earth guy. I want people get to know me. They say I'm like one of the coolest dudes they know. I'm one of the coolest fighters and just coolest humans that they may have encountered. Anyhow, keep tuning in and keep checking me out. Hit me up on Instagram, Karim Hard Hitter, not ER Hitter. Karim Hard Hitter Mayfield. At Instagram, Twitter, Karim Mayfield, the number 1. Karim Mayfield 1. So, it's all good. Hit me up, any questions, whatever. It's all gravy, baby.
All right, and with that, the truth has spoken.